Oh, I need to spit out this stinking cough drop real quick, or else I'm going to be slurping on the stream. That'd be disgusting.
It should be, I think we're live. Hold on.
Like I'm mute. I'm good.
Hello there. Welcome to A Certain Point of View. I am Michael, your host, joined with another host that we have here on A Certain Point of View, Drew. What's up, Drew?
Hey, how's it going, everybody? How's it going, Michael?
It's going well, man. We decided to do a live stream tonight, and there's not anyone in here yet, but that's okay. We will, we'll just kind of play it loose for a little bit, let some people join in. But dude, let's just just catch up a little bit. How was your day?
It's pretty good. My wife and I are actually in a precautionary quarantine since Monday morning. Actually, half a Sunday too. We didn't get tested, but she had symptoms, and we just said, you know what? Unless we need to go to a hospital, if we test positive, that it's going to tell us to go home. So we're just going to stay home for a few days. So just been kind of doing some stuff around the house and whatnot. It's been a good day though. Today was a good day.
Good, dude.
So what's up with you?
We've been kind of getting over some stuff too. We did test, and both my wife and I tested negative, but I did have like some sort of weird sinus, like head cold over the past few days, and Kendall had it. She's just finally getting over it now. But so we've been kind of doing the same thing. But we're pretty good. We're pretty good. I'm feeling definitely better today. I might still sound a little congested though, so apologies in advance for that.
Yeah, I know I do. I know I do too, 100%.
Yeah. So guys, if you're listening to the audio version of this, we are doing a live stream for this episode. Just so you know, it's going to sound a little different than it usually does because we're going to be interacting with chat and all that. So, and speaking of chat, if you are here, please let us know you're here. We want to interact with you during the show. It's going to be a lot of fun. And but it's gonna be a slightly different format than usual, but a lot of it'll feel the same. And then what we're going to do is we'll interact with you a little bit during the show, but then at the end, we'll definitely just go all in on the chat for a while. And so, but Drew, okay, let's just talk for a second. How we're at the, technically halfway through the episode today. We were at the midpoint of the season.
Yeah.
But we're 4 episodes in, 3 episodes to go. How are you feeling about the Book of Boba Fett so far?
I'm feeling good. What expectations I had, like my predictions and things of that nature, everything's been either met or taken care of, really, as far as I was concerned, because I didn't set my expectations or what I wanted to happen too crazy. I mean, obviously, I had some stuff that everybody wants to happen. I'm feeling good. The show is running slightly different than what I thought it would be. I don't know, you and I and the rest of the team have discussed that, but I'm enjoying how the show's going. It is different than predicted, but the product they're giving me, I enjoy it every week, and I look forward to it every week. So I am very much enjoying it. One week something will be weak, the next week it'll be strong, and that kind of goes with the change up in direction each week. But as far as I'm concerned, I think it's pretty consistent what we're getting every week, and like I said, I'm very much enjoying it.
Yeah, man, that's great. I'm so glad that you are all in on this show. And speaking of which, we actually have a surprise I didn't actually know was for sure going to happen, but Jessica is about to be added to the stream here.
Woo!
Jessica, what's up?
Hey,
You're here. You made it.
I made it. How long have y'all been going?
5 minutes.
Oh, good.
Yeah, you're good. You're good. I'm glad you came. I didn't know if you were going to be able to make it.
Yeah.
Oops. Totally just
And
center packing.
shoot.
There we go. You're back. Apparently, when you press the space bar, Jessica goes away.
Misa back.
Misa back. Yeah. So Jessica, we were just kind of talking about we're about at the halfway mark of the Book of Boba Fett now, and we have 3 episodes left. So Drew just told me what his thoughts were on the show, and they're overwhelmingly positive. What are your thoughts on the show so far, as you know, at the halfway point?
Can you hear me? My mic is like over here.
I can hear you. It's a little far away, but I can hear you. It's definitely loud. It's just, yeah, that's good actually.
I really enjoyed the show. It's really fun. I mean, it's
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what else to say except it's just like a fun new Star Wars thing. So, I mean, it wasn't something that I was like hardcore looking for or wanting, to be honest. But I enjoy it. It's fun. It's Star Wars. I like it.
Yeah. Honestly, I'm pretty much Jessica, I'm pretty much there. Like, I have my issues with it. Okay, so this show is a frustrating show for me because there was a point a couple of months ago where the hype was starting to build for it. I was really kind of over the moon excited about it, and I never thought I would be. And I love The Mandalorian, and I love just about everything they do in that show. I'm a fan of it, even though, The Mandalorian is on the side of Star Wars that's like, I've talked about it before. This is the dessert. This is the dessert of Star Wars, right? There's not like a ton of depth there. It's just, let's go and do these missions. And you want to see you want to see a crate dragon? Here's a crate dragon. You want to see Ahsoka? Here's Ahsoka. It's really fun. The relationship between Din and Grogu. I love the show, but it's definitely not like the deepest thing ever, and that's fine. It's just that flavor, right? This show I expected to kind of be in the same vein of that, and it's not really, actually, and that's not a bad thing. I'm actually glad that it's differentiated itself from The Mandalorian. I think that's great. This show, tone wise, is kind of weird. It's just kind of, you got some prequel stuff in there. You got the mod gang in there. You got techno music. You got Jabba the Hutt's palace. You got, the Tusken stuff. There's a lot of different tonal things in this show, and a lot of it works for me, but there's also some stuff that doesn't. And I just in general feel like, for whatever reason, I don't know why, but with The Mandalorian, when I watch it, I never question anything within the universe. Like when I'm watching it on a technical standpoint, it never looks like they cut any corners. It always looks so good, no matter who's directing an episode. I can't think of one that was like, wow, that part looked really bad. This show has had several things in it that I've been like, that looks really bad. Like, why does that look like they cut corners here? Like, visual effects wise in Star Wars, you're not supposed to look bad, right? So and it kind of takes me out of the show a little bit. And I've as well documented on the show my frustrations with Robert Rodriguez as a director. So, and he's directed half of the episodes so far. So I've had issues with the action, the direction, the effects at times. But I've also really enjoyed a lot of what the story is telling us, particularly the flashbacks. I think the flashbacks are the best part of the show, the Tusken stuff. And then what happened this week was really good in the flashbacks. I thought it was like very good. But some of the other stuff is kind of hit and miss. So I've just kind of come to the point where with this show, I am at the point where I am saying, this show is not going to be fully my jam. I don't think it's going to be something that I come back to a whole lot, but I am going to sit back and enjoy the rest of it for what it is, and I think I'm going to find a lot of enjoyment going forward. I'm excited about the Pikes, the Pikes battling Boba. and his, army that he's starting to amass. We'll talk about that later. And all that. I'm really pumped to see what happens next. But at the same time, I'm based on the first 4 episodes, I'm probably going to be frustrated at times too with the show. So it's just kind of this weird thing where the show is probably not the quality that I would have wanted, but I like that it is different than The Mandalorian, and I like that it's its own show and it's unapologetically so. And I like that. So yeah, that's where I'm at with the show.
Can I say that the things you're saying are good things overall? And
I
here's
know.
why.
I'm just kidding.
When this show was announced, I said, "Man, I don't want this to be Mando season 3." Kind of like when the Bad Batch was announced. Man, I don't want this to be Clone Wars season 8.
Yep.
And so on and so forth. You didn't want Rebels to be Clone Wars 2.0. It's good that the taste is different. However, some of the technical qualities here and there that I'm missing out on, they do glare a bit, and that is unfortunate. But maybe by the end of it, and I know you agreed with me on this earlier. I think by the end of it, we're going to have a very good story,
Mhm.
and that's really what's going to count. I don't know if there's going to be a second season of this or what storylines are going to continue. Maybe it'll be fully wrapped up. If that's the case, we are in for a wild ride for these last few episodes. But
Yeah.
the things you're saying are good. I'm glad that it's its own thing. Kind of, we're still figuring out what that thing is right now. Like, still, what is this? But
And I think
we're
that's part
figuring
of
it
the
out, and it's cool.
problem, right? I think that's part of my problem. Usually halfway through, a 6, 7, 8 episode show, you kind of get a feel of what the main story is. I guess we do kind of have a main feel. Like it's leading up to this war between the Pikes and the Fett clan at this point. And I think that's great, but I think I guess it has just kind of taken its time in some ways, and I think that's good. But I think for whatever reason on this particular show, I just, I think it says something for me, like for me personally, when the Bad Batch episodes come out, when a new one comes out, this cartoon of episodes that are like 20, 25 minutes long, right? I cannot wait to watch the next episode. Like I am like counting down the days till the next episode. Um, and while I do usually stay up late to watch these Boba Fett episodes, I am not counting down the days toward the next episode. I'm not that level of excitement. It's more like, oh yeah, Boba Fett today. Like it's not that level of excitement, even though when I'm watching it, I am enjoying it. It's just not the same. You know what I mean? So I think that's my gauge. It's just my excitement's not there. I'm not fully like gung ho about the show. Like I really want to be about every Star Wars thing. But at the same time, that's okay, and that's kind of what I accepted today. I just accepted the fact that this might not be my favorite show that Disney ever does, and that's okay because they're about to do some shows that I think are going to be more up my alley. So I'm excited to see how it finishes though. Jessica, any thoughts on what we talked about before we move forward?
Sorry, I was not set up because I have had a neck and headache all day and decided just to jump on here.
I can't believe you're
So
here.
I'm a little disheveled. I mean, I'm always disheveled, but a little more
No, you're
than
not.
normal. But I don't know. I love, like, it's giving me what I wanted out of it, which is new fun
Mhm.
Star Wars content that is going into the criminal underworld. And I think it's obviously going to take it longer than a season to really dive into that really well. Um and so I think the show will get better as the seasons come. I think we're going to get some really good lore, and I think we'll get I'm loving how it's starting to tie into The Mandalorian. And I mean, we already knew it was, but this last episode really did that a lot. And I just I just like how the time that it's set in. I like that they're exploring this time of the story. And
Yeah.
so I'm happy about that. I mean, it hasn't been like just like blown me out of the water, but I don't think everything has to do that.
Agreed.
I don't
Yeah.
think everything has to be super. It's kind of like a lot of the stuff we talked with the Bad Batch. Like, it doesn't have to be these big epic episodes every week. Like this is, I think, going to be a very, very slow build, but very good character development show. And I think it's just going to kind of take time to really dig into all of that.
Yeah, and I think that is something really interesting that it seems like a lot of people do. And this is not a problem that I have with the show at all. Actually, this is one of the things I like about it. But a lot of people do tend to are kind of complaining about how the show isn't going fast enough, or whatever. But like those are the same people that are complaining about the Mandalorian being non-serialized episodes, right? They're complaining about the Mandalorian being doing like an adventure of the week every week instead of being overarching plot driven episode every week. So what do y'all want? Like, I love that the Mandalorian is its thing. I love that the Book of Boba Fett is actually more like a book. It's being told like a book, and I like that. And it is a little more of a, overarching story, plot driven week to week, rather than an mission of the week. And I love the mission of the week, but I love this.
No one's going to be completely happy. I mean,
Yeah.
Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau are being praised as can do no wrong, and now people like hate this. So I think any kind of thing that you put out when you're creative, like some people it's gonna resonate with some and not with others. And I think one of the things that we as like Star Wars fans can work on is learning how to say, you know what, this might not be my flavor, but that doesn't make it not Star Wars, and that doesn't make it less enjoyable to someone else.
Yes.
I love it, but I'm not obsessed with it.
Yes. If this is ice cream, this is Rocky Road. I never eat Rocky Road. I don't dislike it. It's fine. It's ice cream. It's good. But I never am going to choose that. I'm gonna get me some Moose Tracks. I'm gonna get me some mint chocolate chip. Those are my favorites.
I'm gonna have brownie with some homemade vanilla. That's what I'm gonna get.
There. Yeah, that sounds good too. Honestly,
that's my Obi-Wan show and the Ahsoka show. The brownie with the homemade vanilla.
I think
like a double hitter.
Yeah, Obi-Wan and Andor right now are my Moose Tracks, and then I'm excited to get my mint chocolate chip Bad Batch season 2.
I don't like mint chocolate chip. I'm so weird. I don't like mint and chocolate. It's gross.
I love it so much.
Mint should be what mint is for, refreshing your breath, not mixed with other things. That's just me.
It weird. Should be mixed with chocolate.
No.
All the time.
I don't
Junior mints.
I don't like mojitos. I don't like chocolate and mint. I don't like. No, I don't like it.
You also don't like sand, apparently.
Oh yeah, my Adelaide Sport shirt. It's Anakin.
I don't either.
I don't like sand.
It's coarse.
So this is not related to anything but the shirt, but it's a funny story. So I was in Home Depot for work, buying some stuff for a house. And I went in and was like picking up an order, and then I had to come back the next day, and the same guy helped me, and he was so nice. And he goes, "You're that girl that doesn't like sand." Because I had this on, and I was like, "Oh." He's like, "Who doesn't like sand? Who doesn't like the beach?" Like, just totally, completely didn't even like think about it. And I was like, yeah, I like the beach. It's a Star Wars quote. Like, Anakin doesn't like sand. And he goes, "Oh my gosh, I feel so stupid. I just thought you were some weird girl that didn't like the beach."
That's amazing. That's a good story.
I was like, "Nope.
You're that weird girl that doesn't like the sand."
Beach. She's like, "I just couldn't figure out why you had that on a sweatshirt. Like, why does it say that over and over again?" Okay, great. She doesn't like sand. She doesn't like the beach. I was like, oh my gosh. Clearly, I can't wear this everywhere. No one gets it.
Oh my gosh. That's amazing. Well, hey, before we move on, I do want to acknowledge some of the chat going on here. We got Jackson Stump, and he says, my real name and not a cool Discord nickname. Hi, Jackson, welcome. And then he says, and Ludwig doing a good job. Here, I'll show it. And Ludwig doing a good job with the soundtrack. Okay, so Ludwig only did part of the soundtrack, just so we all know. I can't, poor guy, I cannot remember the name of the guy that is actually doing the rest of the music. Ludwig came in and did the main theme and a couple others, and then another guy has been doing the bulk of the score. Drew, would you mind looking that up really quick while I go through these?
Looking it up.
Oh, Jessica, thank you. Awesome. And then but yes, I agree. Overall, the score has been pretty good, although I would say not blowing my mind at this point. It has had its moments, especially the we talked about it last week with Lore Seeker, the stuff that Jessica didn't really love, all of the sad when the Tuskens were killed and all that and Boba found them. That music was incredible. I thought he did an incredible job with that. But
I thought it was really
the
good
music.
this
I
week.
just didn't like it in that place.
I get it.
Joseph Shirley.
Yeah. Joseph Shirley. Thank you, Jessica. Joseph Shirley. So shout out Joseph Shirley. He has done a good job with this show, and hopefully he gets more efforts later. I think that'd be what a jumping off point, right? Like I don't know if he's done a whole lot of things, but I've never heard his name before this. So yeah, okay, thanks, Jackson. And then we have Jackson also says, I don't know if you can have the show as good as The Mandalorian to me, but I still like it. Yeah, and that's kind of, I totally agree. We can't always compare it to The Mandalorian. Naturally, it's so connected. This is a spinoff of The Mandalorian, so it's impossible to completely separate it, right? But I do find it sometimes like I need to stop comparing this to The Mandalorian. It's good on its own. It's different, and I like that it's different. So yeah, totally with you. Then we got Scott Tracy from the Facebook group. Scott says, the people that say Filoni can do no wrong can't tell you what the plot of Resistance was. Okay, well, I can't tell that either because I've only watched the first 7 episodes. And by the way, I'm enjoying Resistance a little more this time. I just haven't watched it in a couple of days. So no, I like.
He did some of the arrangement. Sorry, I've got to interrupt. This is cool. He did some of the arrangement for Tenet.
Oh, did he? So I know that for sure. He works closely with Ludwig Göransson. So because Ludwig
he's done a lot of stuff
movie
with Trolls. Sorry, I was looking up stuff that he had done. So.
That's great. No, I actually that's good information.
He was the score programmer for Venom and Black Panther.
So he's done some work.
Yeah.
He's done some work.
Yeah. So he's basically the right-hand man for Ludwig right now. Spread your wings and fly.
Sorry, I had to look that
up. And then Jackson with another quote, with another comment says the Tusken scene came out of nowhere. You mean, I'm sorry, if do you mean the one where we found them
murdered?
Yeah,
I think that's what he's talking about. Yeah,
murder. Have y'all seen that SNL skit? Sorry, I can't.
No,
it was jarring. Yes.
You murder.
No, I haven't seen it.
Okay. For those of y'all who know, you know.
But no, I kind of, I don't know. It didn't catch me out of nowhere. To me, it felt very natural. I don't know if that's what you mean. It did hurt. Like it really, when I was watching it, it really did hurt a lot. And I felt all of it, all the weight of that scene. It's really good. Okay. Shall we get into this episode?
Yes.
This episode is called The Gathering Storm. This is chapter 4.
Love the title. I'm sorry to interject, but I love the title.
That's the best title so far.
Yeah.
Of the season so far. It's written by Jon Favreau, as has all of the other ones so far, and it is directed by Kevin Tencheron. I'm sorry.
Kevin Tarantula.
Anyway,
fish.
I did feel like the episode was directed well overall. So Kevin, great job. I'm just going to call you Kevin.
Kev.
So, Okay, I would like to hear y'all's thoughts on this episode. Jessica, you go first.
So I've only watched it once, and I didn't take any notes because, again, I was like, maybe I can pop on the live. So
Yeah,
I'm kind
totally
of flying by the seat of my pants. Drew has his notes on his paper. I'm gonna
Nope.
get you that cool notebook. It's gonna happen.
Can't wait.
So, someone says I work with Drew Miller. I'm distracted by this.
Jackson Stump. Oh no, Drew Nolan does. Hey, Drew Nolan, you work with Drew Miller. What's up?
Yes, he works for a company.
There's two Drews. I really enjoyed it. I like how they added more of the like mod bikers. I just find them very entertaining, even though I do feel like the color is a little jarring for Tatooine. It just doesn't fit as much, but like I was saying last time we talked about them, like I feel like they're just kind of the younger rebellious crowd that wants to be different, so they're going to do anything as obnoxious as possible to stand out. And so I loved that they were the people that saved Finnick. And so I really enjoyed that story. I'm interested to see kind of like what they're going to play in more with the story. And I'm trying to think what else. I don't know, just them continuing to show how he took over from Bib Fortuna and, how Finnick came into play with that and how it's setting up this whole story. I really like that. I feel like this whole, like, it's kind of like the prologue in a book, and so it's just kind of setting up the stage for everything. And then I think maybe the last few episodes are going to hit really hard with the story, and we probably won't have any flashbacks at that point. And then if we get another season, the next season will like really build off of the story. But I enjoyed that. I enjoyed the story building, even if it sometimes seems kind of slow and it's not, like I said, really, it's not, I can't say it's a favorite. Like I really enjoy it. But that's something I've really enjoyed in this episode. I think did that really well. The storytelling was done, I think, really well.
I agree. I think I really like how this show isn't necessarily trying to, like I said earlier, I really like how it's not trying to be The Mandalorian. It could have been really easy to do with Jon Favreau having helmed both, but it very much is intentionally a very different show. It feels so different than The Mandalorian, even though it's really, it's set in the same, corner of Star Wars. It's set in the same time period and all that. Boba Fett was in The Mandalorian as he is now. So it could have very easily been a spinoff that felt the exact same way. I appreciate how they're telling the story. I personally really liked the flashbacks this episode. The flashbacks really added a lot. I loved going into how Fennec got her, stomach fixed and all that stuff. I liked seeing that. I'm very torn on techno music in Star Wars. It can work sometimes. Like for
Drew's
me,
got notes.
yeah,
it's our
and
first Easter egg, actually.
Okay. Oh, okay. Well, we'll hear that in just a second. But like for me, it worked in The Mandalorian. Remember last in The Mandalorian when you had Ludwig's score like that when the dark troopers were deployed. It was kind of weird because it's like this techno music in Star Wars, but I was like, yeah, but it works because these are droids and it like totally works. But for whatever reason, this didn't work as well for me, even though I don't hate it. It's just weird. I think to a degree, like I love the synth-based stuff that Ludwig has been doing. I think it really works in Star Wars, but there is a point where it like gets into too close to, kind of like Jessica. Remember when you saw the dogs in episode 1 and you were like, that takes me out of Star Wars completely. That's what this does for me.
The robot dogs is what
the robot dogs. They take you out of Star Wars. This is like that football game on TV in the bar. This is like techno music in Star Wars.
So for you, it was like too on the nose techno and not like Star Wars techno.
Yeah, exactly. It felt like actual techno music at a mod bar kind of a place, and it didn't feel like Star Wars music to me, which is a very broad spectrum. You got John Williams, you got Michael Giacchino, you got Powell. I can't remember his first name for Solo. You had John Powell, I think, and then you have Ludwig Göransson. You have Kevin Kiner. All sorts of different scores and styles of Star Wars music. This didn't fit like into any of those areas, and that's okay. It's just it irked me a little. It took me out of it a little. So anyway, I like the scene though. I think the mod crew is weird, but it's fine. I'm not a hater on the mods. I think they're cool. But yeah, I liked the all the flashback stuff, and I really think some of the stuff we've been talking about, like character development wise for Boba, he came out and just straight said it in this episode. And we'll get into some of that in a little bit because I really, really liked some of the conversations between him and Fennec were probably my favorite parts of this episode. And the action was better, I thought, except I didn't love the kitchen chase, but we'll get there too. Drew, what did you think, man?
So it's time for my general thoughts of the episode.
Hey, this works now because we're on a live stream.
Totally does. So number one, I love seeing the storyline from your favorite episode of Mando season 1 come and tied in full circle now.
Just to be clear, it's not my favorite episode, but I was glad to see it too.
Yes. So that's tied in full circle. Speaking of things being tied in full circle, the mod crew makes so much more sense now because of what happened between the mod crew and Fennec. And that was pretty cool to me because I think Jessica said last week the mod crew reminded her of like a tattoo gang, and like their latest mod is like their latest ink. And straight up, when they went to this, they called it a mod parlor, like a tattoo parlor in the subtitles. And I was just like, it's a tattoo parlor in Star Wars. I know they have real tattoos there too, but these are super futuristic. So that leads us to our first Easter egg real quick. Number one, the music they're listening to, I believe, could be a genre that exists only in Star Wars called rec punk. And if you have read The High Republic, you know that's what the Nihil battleships like listen to and blare over their loudspeakers when they're doing their raids, is a genre called rec punk. And I just feel like, that could be what their techno music is rec punk.
Okay, but with the rec punk, I actually always, at least when I listened to the audiobook, I always heard it more metal.
It did have a little more metal to it, but like I said, I told you
qualities, but yeah. I didn't hear enough metal for me to go there. But when you said that, I was like, okay, I hear it. I hear what you're saying. Maybe it's an offshoot.
Just maybe it could be. Yeah, it's like a techno offshoot. It's like
it's Recno.
I love it. Yeah.
Hey, okay. Better names than the jazz.
You mean? Just say it.
No.
Jizz.
That is the genre of jazz music in Star Wars.
Who thought, you know what, guys? We're all sitting in this room. We're going to come up with music for Star Wars. We're not going to call it jazz, and we're going to have a blue elephant playing it. We're going to call it jazz.
Max Rebo, you are welcome. He's here with us tonight, Max Rebo.
I am Max Rebo. I am. Honestly,
everyone around the table went.
Okay,
Max Rebo is the king of
jazz.
The
king. I just don't. Who? I want to know.
A genius. That's who. No. Okay. So. Okay. Really quickly.
Here. Hi,
really
Curry.
Quickly. Yeah. Curry is in the chat. What's up, Curry? Bro. Just finished the episode. Curry.
The rated R musician, man.
Curry, tell us your thoughts, dude. Jackson says, I liked the Camino flashbacks, even though they were small. Dude, I loved seeing the Camino flashbacks. Those were amazing. And then Jackson also says, I need to read the High Republic books. Speaking of which,
I would at least read the main novels, not every little offshoot and like everything, but at least the main novels. I think the third one just came out. They're very good.
I have recently bought a few of them. I bought
Yay! I need
I'm
to
going
finish. Y'all, I haven't finished the first one.
I bought
need
Into
to
the
finish.
Dark. I bought, which one is this one? Out of Shadow, and I bought The Fallen Star, which is the brand new novel. I'm really excited to get into those. And yes, I've actually been kind of on a Star Wars book buying spree with my Christmas money. And I have so many Star Wars stories that I haven't read before. Like right in my room here, there's so much untapped Star Wars story
Same.
for me
I'm
to
like
get into.
looking around at all the books.
So it's gonna happen. I did just start listening to oh gosh, what's the first hold on a second. I'm sorry.
Did you say Dark Disciple?
No, I have not started to read that one. I did just start listening to the first book after it's A Test of Courage. I started listening to A Test of Courage, and I really am enjoying it so far. So after that, I'm gonna keep going into the High Republic. I'm like, time to go. There's so much to get into. But dude, you do need to get into the High Republic books. I've only read Light of the Jedi, and I adored it. It was incredible. It's exactly what I want from Star Wars. So I'm pumped about it. Okay, so here before we oh, actually, no, Drew, did you have more? You have more, dude. You have more.
Just a few. I'll be quick.
Come on.
Number one, for every episode in a row, I have written I heart Finnick so much. For I heart Finnick Shand. I really do. She was once again incredible, especially her combat scenes were like super legit in this one. Speaking of action, I thought the action was better cut. I thought the CG was well done this week. Specifically the shots with Slave One, Fire Spray, whatever we're calling Boba Fett's ship. All that stuff was incredible this week. And I thought the music was exceptionally good this week. I put specifically on another level. And that's kind of all my general thoughts there. And I'll have an Easter egg that's related to the punk music and the mod team that we'll come back to in just a few minutes. So if you want to do like an Easter egg corner, we'll knock them all out at once.
Perfect. Sounds good. And Curry just put his quick review here in there. Let's bring that up. Curry says it feels pretty good. I'm sorry. He says it was pretty good. Feels like the flashbacks took up a lot of time, and it doesn't feel like those flashbacks covered 5 years between Return of the Jedi and Mando. That little note aside, the Sarlacc scene was a ton of fun, but that ending with the music, what? Dude, the music and the Mando cue, I mean, it was a lot more subtle the first time, but it happened twice in the episode. The first time it happened was when you saw the whatever that thing is they shot in episode 5 of The Mandalorian, to blind Fennec's eyes. Do you remember that?
Yeah, it was like a flare gun.
It was like that's what it was, like a flare. You saw that, and as soon as you saw that, it was like the Mando kind of a sound, and it was a nice little thing. I was like, oh, I know exactly where we are now. And it's amazing that music can do that. Music brings you right into a specific moment of a specific show, and you know exactly what's going on. And that's why music is great. Dude, Curry, I agree. I think I agree somewhat. The flashbacks took up a lot of time. I don't view that as a negative. I think the flashbacks are the best part of this show. And I do feel like they wrapped up though in this episode. I feel like they wrapped up the flashbacks because the droid said, "You're completely healed." At the end, I don't think he's going to have to go back into the back to tank. So I think that was them telling us we're done with the flashbacks. That's kind of my thought. Yeah, that's just kind of my thought, my feeling when I was watching it. But so I didn't mind that. The time feels kind of wonky between it. He said all those years ago, and I was like, years? This doesn't feel like time is a little wonky in Star Wars generally, but it does feel a little weird. So I'm with you there, dude. I'm with you. And Curry says, I don't feel super invested in the present day story yet, though. I'm just holding out, dude, I'm excited. I'm not fully invested in what's happening now. I'm excited about what's supposed to happen in a little bit. With especially now that we know we're gonna bring Din Djarin into the fold here.
Really? You think?
At least that was highly extremely hinted at.
It was suggested.
Extremely suggested. That's obviously going to happen, but I'm excited for this battle between the Pikes and Boba Fett and his crew. I'm excited to see that. The Pike Syndicate has always been so interesting to me, and to see them like kind of trying to basically take over Tatooine is a really cool concept, and I'm excited for it. So I'm kind of with you. I'm not like super invested in what's happening right this minute in the present day, but I'm also super hopeful for what's happening next. Scott Tracy says jizz used to mean lively before its current incarnation. That's true. I'm sure it has. Lucas's generation learned the old meaning. That makes a lot of sense, actually. Unfortunately,
It just hasn't aged
we
well.
bastardized that word a whole lot. Oh no. Freaking oh no.
You're still here.
I know the mouse did that thing again. It does every freaking week. It zoomed in on a specific thing and I can't get it out of the Okay, hold on.
You look normal to us, just so you know.
I know, but I can't do this. I can't see the whole screen. Everybody, I'm very sorry for this. This happens every single week, only we're not on a live stream. I have an Apple mouse and I double tap it or something in a certain way and it messes up and I don't know how to back out of it. Hold on.
This is just like when Han and Luke.
There we go.
Conversation over the
no idea how.
Stormtrooper.
Oh man.
Maybe somebody listening knows how. How do you fix this?
Yeah, I'm sure it's in my settings. I just haven't. I keep forgetting to go in there and do that. Scott, thank you for that tidbit there. That was really you're probably completely right about that. We totally bastardized that word over the past generation. Curry says Kevin Tancheron. Curry, I think I'm pronouncing his name wrong. So from now on, it's Kevin Tarantula, is a good director and did well here. Glad to see him on the up and up. He's always does great fights. I looked him up and I wasn't super familiar with a lot of the stuff he's done, but he's done a lot of television and a lot of stuff Curry watches. So I'm not surprised to hear him say that.
My little Luke fell over.
Oh no.
I have my two up here if you didn't see them. I have Boba and Den up here together.
Nice. I built my first little Star Wars Lego set. You want to see it?
Got my Boba.
So cute.
Boba.
Look.
Hopefully is it the Throne of Mandalore one with Ahsoka and Maul?
No, my friend got me this one. It's the little Tatooine one.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
And
I want that.
And there's a little, this is so backwards, Leia. And with, how we've learned what the Tusken Raiders are like now, I put him in there chilling with Obi-Wan.
He's hanging out.
And then
that's great.
There's a little R2 and then.
Man, to scale, that is a big R2.
Yeah. So not really accurate as far as, obviously the Tusken wasn't there.
No, that's great though. I love it.
But I like it.
I love it. Jackson says, I also never knew there was an entrance to Jabba's palace that like that kind of underground. Yeah,
it's the hangar, and also where they get the Rancor in and out.
And
oh my gosh, Drew knows all because of this book.
Dude, I'm telling you, that little book, Drew. What book is that? Tell us again what book
it is. Called Star Wars: Tales from Jabba's Palace. And if my brother was in here, he could attest to the might of this book.
So
look at how worn out this thing is. I've read it.
There's a guy in our group that I know who works for Once Upon a Time Books. His name's Adam, and he's in the group. Adam, if you watch this, get that in the bookstore.
And I need a new copy, please.
Because dude, I'm telling you, Jon Favreau is using this book as source material like all the time. Like every week, Drew pulls that book out.
I'm gonna read it before next week.
Yeah, you need to. It's amazing. So just catching back up, we gotta get going here. But catching back up, Curry says, I think they could have been one long episode, maybe two. The in and out has really pulled the focus of the show out of whack. I disagree, man. I think that the flashbacks have been more focused lately. The first episode, I really didn't like how it went like in and out of them. That was weird and it was wonky and it messed with the flow and all that. But I really think depending on how much story is happening in present day, how much story is happening in the flashback, some episodes, the flashback is really short and the majority of it is the present day. Most of the episodes have been the present day is shorter, but the flashbacks are longer, but it feels clean to me. It doesn't pull the focus out, because to me, the focus of the show is not just what's going on in present day. The focus of the show is what is going on inside of Boba. And I think that we saw in the past few episodes what Boba verbalized in this episode. We saw in the past several episodes where and I'll just go ahead and say it right now. I'll go ahead and get to this quote. Fennec says, living with the Tuskens has made you soft. And Boba says, no, it has made me strong. You can only get so far without a tribe. First of all, that's really great to live by, period. But that is what Boba has been going through in this show. That is what the show has been about. And then the present day stuff has almost felt like more of the afterthought, because I think it was really important to understand the struggles of the present day and the motivations during the present day, that we understand the reason why he is that way now. And I think that I think that the flashbacks have been so huge for us to get to the point where Boba says something like, no, it has made me strong. You only get so far without a tribe. The point where he says that, and we believe him. We believe Boba Fett saying that, So I think I completely disagree with you on that one, Curry. I'm kind of with you on some things, but we're not eye to eye here, but that's okay. And so let's get back into the episode and we'll revisit the chat here in a bit. I really did enjoy most of this episode. I think the techno stuff really threw me off. Like when that happened, I really was just like, why? But it's one of those things where I hate that that's a problem for me, but it did take me out of it. I really hate that it did, but it did. But in general, I really liked this episode. I really, can we just say, Boba riding a bantha is still glorious. It's just the best. And I love Boba's relationship with animals at all in this show is really interesting. And it's really kind of great. It's extremely endearing. And I think it did kind of feel like he's learned a lot over the past 5 years or however many years with the Tuskens. It really did feel like old Boba wouldn't have really felt this way toward animals, but you see him acting like this toward like even like giving them his leftover food, even the point where he said in the episode, we need to get some food, not I need to get some food. I'm riding you to get some food. He was like, we need to get some food. And like, he's always thinking about his pets and his animal companions really is what they are. And so I love it. It's just like this thing. Boba is so much more interesting of a character now because of this show. And even though like I have my complaints about the show on the whole, I really like what they've done with the Boba character.
I love that the bantha is like a big puppy. I thought that was incredible.
The tail wag.
The wagging tail really sent that scene over the top. I love that. That was the only note I had for that scene, but I did enjoy that. And then Holly said, when he fed him that, she was like, that was just a little snack for him. He's gonna eat so much more. This is a big animal.
Yep, that's true. Like, that's true.
They gotta go find something else to eat.
They really like their animatronic bantha, like that, and I think it really works. most of the time. There was a couple times when it was eating and you could see the unrealism of it a lot when it was like chewing and when it stuck its tongue out. It was almost like someone was like in the animatronic sticking a tongue like a wooden tongue out of the mouth, like that's what it looked like. It didn't look like her tongue at all. And so I felt like it was a weakness at a couple of points, but I love when he's riding the bantha. I love when he's like interacting with the bantha. I think
like a bantha.
I love it so much. I think it was just so great. But yeah, Jessica, any thoughts on that?
I liked it when it licked him.
Like a puppy.
It's just a puppy.
It was like real wet and just.
I think my favorite parts of this episode were the conversations that Boba and Fennec had, like around the campfire at night. Like that was my favorite part. That was by far my favorite, and there was a few of them, right? So, but I really liked the whole idea of connecting the episode. Finally, we see the backstory of first of all, why Boba was out in the desert, and like we see the time period that it happened. It's cool to know, like, oh, Mando's like right over there. That's so fun. And that's always just really fun to see. But then to see how we always saw that the sorry, I got distracted by Curry. We always saw that man, I totally lost my train of thought. Thanks, Curry. I'm just kidding.
Curry pulling a Jessica and Drew messing around, distracting Michael.
He's just interacting. It's my fault that I can't concentrate. So let's see here. Let's go to Curry here. He says Kevin Tarantula is basically the reason live action Mortal Kombat is a thing again. The long story there, but did a proof of concept short film in a 2-season web series, and which led to the reboot movie. He directed a ton with Ming-Na Wen on Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. His episodes were some of the best, and several DC shows. Well, there you go. Boom.
Awesome.
Good stuff. Love it. Let's see. Jackson says, I got mine for $8 at a used bookstore. So I guess he has the source material.
Yeah, we talked about it on Discord.
Guys,
yeah,
I tagged Adam. Adam, get on it.
Adam, get on.
I'm gonna reread through the entire book because like Max Rebo even has his own story in here. It's awesome.
He works for the really cool used bookstore that's like local to me.
I love this comment. I love this comment so much from Jackson. He says, I bet Ben Quadranero could get by without a try. I don't know what you have to back that up, but because I would disagree, but I love Ben Quadranero. That was a great comment. Scott says, when do we get to see the Gamorrean guards the Gamorrean guards flashback while he was in the Bacta? When do we get to see the Gamorrean guards flashback while he was in the Bacta? What do you mean, Scott? I'm sorry, I'm not following. Do y'all know what he's talking about?
I would guess maybe like, I don't know what happened to them, and now they like follow him. So like,
I'm not sure. Scott, elaborate, please.
Maybe I don't know.
Curry says, I guess just based off of after my comments, he said, I like it overall. I just think the structure is out of balance. I mean, it's not perfectly balanced, but I don't think it has to be. He says, until this episode, the flashbacks didn't inform the present day storyline. Disagree. Glad they did here. We'll see how it looks now that the main story will be the focus. Could retroactively improve the structure. Dragging out the flashbacks to be chopped up over 4 episodes is just excessive to me. Yeah, we just are going to disagree, man. I wish you were on the pod to talk about it. No, but
fight you.
Yeah, I disagree, but it's okay. I definitely dislike some things that you like. How do you know what a bantha tongue looks like? Nitpicky toxic fan.
The bantha tongue was different in Legends. I don't like this new Disney one.
Disney ruined tongues.
Disney ruined bantha tongues.
Thanks for that, Curry. That's the one that tripped me up. That is why I got tripped up there. Curry says, can we talk about why they are so restrictive showing Boba in the armor? LOL. It's the opposite of Mando.
Because that's all we ever
Drama.
saw Boba
And then he
in.
says, I kid. Yeah, I know you're kidding. I think we're going to see him a lot in the armor coming up.
Yes.
Curry says, it's what I do, Michael. And I'm being and he's he's being sarcastic. That's an inside joke. Scott says Boba gets flashbacks. Why not the Pigman? Okay, so you literally just want a story, a Gamorrean like spinoff. Let's get the Gamorrean Book of Gamorrean.
There's one in here.
Gamorrean guard.
Of course, there is one in the Holy Book of Resources.
Yeah, Gartog the Gamorrean.
I love it.
He has his own story in here. Yeah.
And Scott says, "Yes, I do want that." Curry says, "I meant Scott was being sarcastic." Oh, okay, my bad. Blah blah blah.
I love inside jokes. I'd love to be part of one one day.
Someday, yeah.
Hey, we have a Twitter comment, by the way.
Ooh, bring it.
I don't know what it means, but
okay.
This person said, "What are your opinions on zippers?" Ashton Kenobi asked us that. Zippers are very functional. As far as carnivals go, I don't like a zipper. As far as the ride, I know that's not your question.
I don't know what the zipper thing is either.
The zipper is painful if you get your thumb caught in one.
I have heard someone say something about a zipper controversy before, but I never knew what they were talking about. So if you want to elaborate, that would be excellent.
Yes, that would be excellent.
Please. Curry says,
I follow her. She's funny.
I think I do too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it said followed by Jessica.
Yeah.
Curry says, Michael, are you sick or did you
zippers.
snort some sort of spice before this?
This isn't a spice dream.
This isn't the spice dream.
I like zippers.
I like zippers too. I think zippers are good. We should get back on track here. Okay, let's go to the whole thing. First of all, I just want to say one thing.
Michael snorted some spice for sure.
Snorted some spice for sure. I'm gonna get that comment off the screen there. So
is to the Pisces.
No, I did not. I'm going to pull something up on Twitter because I found somebody posted something really good earlier, and it was worded exactly how I would want to say it, and just better than I could have ever said it. So I'm going to just say it, and then we're going to move on from it, and we're not going to spend a whole ton of time on it. So Around the Galaxy on Twitter says, because, okay, guys, there's this huge controversy on the Slave One being renamed or whatever. And really, it hasn't actually been renamed. If you look on the Star Wars database, it's still called the Slave One, but it is a fire spray ship. That's the kind of ship it is. And so Around the Galaxy tweeted something earlier, and they said, I'm just saying, if I called my car Sally or something and I met a stranger who could help me get it back, I wouldn't say, help me get Sally. I would say, help me get my Plymouth Duster. Like, that's what Boba did there. Help me get my fire spray gunship. That's what he did there. You can still call it Slave One if you want to. You don't have to. You can call it fire spray if you want to. You don't have to. So nothing's changed. Boom.
Two things on that. Number one, there's only one Lego set that has ever actually been named after the ship, and that's the Millennium Falcon.
Exactly.
Grievous's starship. I forget what it was called, but it was called Grievous's starship. The Bad Batch, they fly in the Havoc Marauder.
Mm-hmm.
You go to look at Walmart, it says Bad Batch attack shuttle. They
Yep.
do that with every ship. It's okay. And I have, let me see it. I have Boba Fett starship right here.
Boom.
Yay. That's where this little guy here came from.
And it's a fire spray, whatever. That's
my
the
car
model.
My car's name is Mary Jane, but I'm not going to tell somebody, hey, Mary Jane got stolen, I'm going to say, hey, my Camaro got stolen.
That's right.
It's absolutely correct. That's hilarious.
That's right. Yeah. So Around the Galaxy, thank you for putting it in a way that makes so much sense. I think that's great. You're as are most of your content is great. Let's see. Curry says Tamira Morrison even said it was renamed though, so it's a little inconsistent since they confirmed it. But Firefly Serenity did the same thing, so I think of it like that. Yeah, and it's a little bit ambiguous, I guess. It is, but I think it can be. You can still call it the Slave One if you want to. You can call it the Fire Spray, whatever. In this instance, it made sense for them to call it the Fire Spray in the episode, so they did, and I'm good with it. So it's just
Same.
a non-issue for me, I guess is all I'm saying. Jessica, let's go to you. What did you think of the whole part where they, first of all, the kitchen sequence? What did you think of the kitchen sequence?
Easter egg.
Yeah. Hey, you're muted.
Jessica's muted.
Wow, it sure takes you a long time to unmute.
Well, I'm clicking the wrong button. I was clicking by my name and not down at the bottom.
Oh my gosh.
I'm trying to get closer to my microphone. I really need
Sounds good.
like a table.
We got to get you a setup.
Yeah, it's bad.
Okay.
This room's a disaster.
What did you think of the kitchen sequence?
I thought it was fun. It kind of reminded me in a weird way of Emperor's New Groove.
Yes.
I don't know, just the chopping and
On second thought, make my potatoes a salad. Don't get me started quoting that movie.
But no, I liked it. I thought it was fun. I mean, it's fun. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be. I don't understand. I mean, if you don't like it, it's fine. It's fun. They came in that way, and there was a robot chef, and it was fun. And I love those little. I forgot what those little droids are that look like little bunnies. What are those called?
What are they
said
called?
in the episode, and I don't remember.
Yeah.
I know.
I can't remember.
Chat, help us.
I love those things.
What are the
They're
bunny?
so
is it a bunny
cute.
droid? Is that what it's
No,
called?
it had a
but
cooler name than that.
Thank
yeah,
God.
But it's little ears, and then it was just like bloop, and like shut itself off. Like, no, thank you.
Yeah,
I'm
I'm not
doing
talking.
I love those droids, so I was just fascinated by that there was one of those.
Yeah, and that's a prequel era droid, right?
Yeah,
I
so
love
cute.
I love that these Disney Plus shows are not veering away. Obviously, Dave Filoni's involved, so it's not surprising. But I love that they're not steering clear of prequel stuff. That it's all here now, like and it's mixed in with the old prequel stuff mixed in with Tatooine, and it's great. I love it. It's great.
Yes.
So, Curry. Oh no, Curry. I don't know how to do the links, Curry. I'm sorry. I need you in here to produce. That's what I need. But really quick, it might be Curry. If we're on the same page here, the knife part. I am a noob. You're right. The knife part reminded me of Grievous. It was
Chef Grievous.
It was Chef Grievous, right? So Curry, if that's the link, you let me know. But I definitely thought of Grievous when I saw that happen. I thought that was a nice little nod, and then Fennec just took it out. It was cool. I just thought I guess for me, it just felt a little long. It lasted a little long that Boba was like fumbling around chasing this little rabbit droid. But it didn't bother me too much. It was just like, man, this is taking a while. But yeah, Drew, what'd you think of that scene?
I thought it was pretty funny. There's obviously room for humor in Star Wars, no matter what Star Wars movie.
Weird humor.
Even the most serious of all Star Wars movies, there's humor. And especially in the TV shows, they really flex the humor in the TV shows because there's more room for it than in a serious movie, obviously. But it's where memes come from. I make memes, so I'm good with it. It's awesome. I love the torture droid from Return of the Jedi, EV-99.
Mm-hmm.
If it's the same droid,
yeah,
the
totally
subtitles
was to me in my head canon. It absolutely was.
the subtitle said it's a sous chef now. So instead of a torture droid, he has been demoted to a sous chef. So I thought that was really funny. The chase scene didn't bother me. It had a little kind of a cute, fun music to it. You like it when something happens that takes a character out of their comfort zone, or funny enough, out of character, but not. So, that was it took Boba out of his element. He's used to like murdering people and like, shooting wrist rockets and things like that in his jetpack, and he has to chase a little rabbit droid around a kitchen. I was like, that's funny, I'm cool with it.
Yeah, I just kind of had a thought of what it reminded me of. And I was like, this feels really familiar. Two things actually. I really like that. I feel like Jon Favreau just has to put a kitchen in everything he does now. Like he's just obsessed with cooking. And
Yes.
because if you guys have seen his show or his movie Chef,
It's on my list to watch.
it's so good, man. It's just one of those movies that's just a good, solid movie. It really you feel a lot, but it's just a fun movie to put on. It's a repeat movie for me. And then he did a show that's on Netflix called The Chef Show, and which is really fun. And it's more like a reality cooking show. It's not a game. It's just him cooking with friends. It's fun. Which there's actually an episode with Dave Filoni. They go to Lucasfilm Ranch and cook there, and Dave Filoni comes in and talks.
Yeah,
it's great.
It's a good show.
Look it up.
Jonathan is like the chef in our house, and so he loves that show, and he loves the like film chef. And
Yep. I love that stuff too. And so like when I saw that, I was like, of course in this episode of Star Wars that Jon Favreau wrote, he's like, I think I want to go through Jabba's kitchen. Of course he did. I love it.
Why couldn't Chef Gordon Ramsay voice one of the cook droids? That would have been
amazing. It wouldn't have flown for Disney Plus.
Are you fucking kidding me?
You donut.
Oh man. So, but the other thing I wanted to say is that I really like that this part kind of reminded me of have y'all played Super Mario 64?
Yes.
So we
wouldn't be millennials if we hadn't played Super Mario 64.
It's true. It's true. Well, this is kind of a deeper cut in the game. You'll have to tell me if you remember. One of the secret castle stars you can get. I've played the game like 80 times. I've beat it like 80 times. But one of the secret castle stars you can get is going down in the basement. There's like a rabbit that you catch. You have to catch a little rabbit, and catching that rabbit reminded me of Boba trying to catch this thing in the kitchen, and it's really like hard to catch. So I actually get why it was so hard for him to get. It makes total sense because I've done it and it's hard. So it reminded me of that, and I was like, I like that. That's fun. So really quick, what do you guys think about the actual, like, from the point where they get the fire spray, slave one, whatever, whenever they get that, and that sequence that happened after it?
Chef's kiss for the action in that scene.
Yeah.
Specifically, Fennec just destroying people. She had a few like Black Widow-esque like wrestling moves going on. Wrestling moves going on. I mean, she had a dude straight up with like a stone cold stunner going on. It was awesome. It was she was incredible. And then at one point, one of the Clatoonian dudes yells Sleemo. So anytime we get Sleemo in Star Wars, it is so good. And also in this scene, they did it a few times in the episode. I thought it was going to be Boba's new theme music, but maybe now it kind of feels like halfway it's like Fennec's new music, or maybe Fennec and Boba's comboed music, the Fire Slave. Wrestling. I love it. They kept using like the end credits, the dun 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 dun, that Boba's new music that I love so much. They used it a few times, and specifically in that fight scene. So I thought that was incredible.
Yeah, and I think Scott Tracy puts it really well. He said, "We all knew that Sarlacc was eating a seismic charge before this was all over."
we all, yes. I was yelling at my TV, like screaming.
Well said. We were like, seismic charge, you got to do it. And they did it.
It was awesome. I love it. Just like rippling.
Yep.
across the sand.
Across the Dune Sea. I love it.
So good.
Curry says Fennec, Wrestle Queen of champion of the Dune Sea. Yep. Ash Zeig, I'm sorry if I said that wrong, says Fire Slave 69. That's hilarious. And Ash says, I could have done without the bumbling boba in the kitchen. Just I understand. It was fun. It was just long for me. I don't mind a little bumbling in a kitchen every now and then. It doesn't ruin his character for me, but it does, like, I guess.
Go to her next comment.
Ash says, that's why I say that's what I say when I eat Taco Bell. Get ready for the sides blast in 3, 2, 1. Oh my gosh.
Same, girl.
I will read
I love
Curry's.
Taco Bell though.
I don't even know what to say. Welcome to the chat, Ash. And then Ash also says it was fun. It did go too long. So I'm with you. It did go too long. Curry, Drew, read it.
That charge sound effect though.
Yep. I mean,
yeah,
it was just glorious. And the other part that I absolutely loved, and I thought this part looked fantastic, was when Boba was flying the ship and he was like on a hunt. He was just hunting down that biker gang.
Oh, the air raid.
And he just destroyed them in 5 seconds. Their entire crew, and they're gone. They're just off the face of the planet now. That scene looked fantastic.
Don't touch my buttons.
Ash says, "Well, I broke the podcast within 2 minutes. I am Master Assassin Ash Zeig. I'm so sorry if I'm pronouncing your name wrong, but yes, you did break us. That was great. Thank you for that. Welcome."
We're used to one of our own doing that, so it's completely okay when someone else does.
Yeah, and then it gets edited out normally because it's not live.
But this is live.
And normally it's either me or Drew with some shenanigans. We're the shenanigan twins. Isn't that what you said?
I can confidently say that I will be editing a little bit of this, but I don't think I'm editing any of that out. That was just golden. That was golden.
I'll yell at y'all later about saying my name wrong. Or saying it wrong.
Please spell it phonetically. I really want to get it right. Let's see here. Curry says, Ash beat me to it. Dang it. So how do we feel about the end, the last little bit of the episode when we were more in the present day?
Can I go back to one thing?
Oh yeah, please.
No. I loved the Wookiee in the bar. That was great.
Well, that's in present day. That's present day. Yeah, we're now in present day, so that's perfect timing to talk about it.
I was like, yes, beat him up. They like to hunt people for sport.
Rip his arm out of socket. I was yelling it.
Guys, do you have a problem? Do you all have y'all noticed, like, this is one of the budget things for me, or not even budget thing, just it feels weird in this show. Why are all the Trandoshan's like cross-eyed on this show? Have y'all noticed that?
It's a reptile thing. It's a reptile thing,
like
because
them.
Don't forget.
Audio listeners, Drew is holding up a Godzilla doll, and I stand corrected. It's a reptile. Oh my gosh!
I'm just glad they're practical. I think they look really good as practical.
They look good except for the eyes. I don't know what that is. Like, they've never looked that way before. It's the only reason that I'm saying it.
They have the ability. Like Bosk even looks that way. Like
Does
reptiles, they have. Yeah, he totally looks derpy.
I'll have to go back and look because I don't remember them.
He looks derpy.
They have the ability to like look to their side, like complete, like not fully around the head vision, but like
for what it's worth, Curry agrees with me. Yes, the Trandoshans look off. Curry says, "Thank you, Curry."
Yeah, his arm looked off too.
Can eat dirt for all I care. They like to kidnap people and hunt them for sport, so
that
they
was
can
one
get
of my
their arms pulled off.
That was one of my Easter eggs. There was the deep-seated rivalry and hatred between Wookiees and Trandoshans, and the fact that it took just one Wookiee sauced up in a cantina to let that come to the big screen and us finally see for the first time since 1977. I ripped my headphone off there. Kind of shocked me. A Wookiee rip someone's arm out of socket like Han said they would do long ago, and it was so awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, I really love that. And honestly, when I watched it the first time, I didn't even think about that. I was just like, this is cool. He's just tearing them apart. I didn't even think about why he's doing that. And I love that, y'all. That's so like those Wookiee hunt episodes are crazy. I think that's a super underrated arc of the Clone Wars too.
It totally
is. I love the Wookiee hunt episodes. And it's cool to see a Wookiee get revenge like that.
And also, real quick, they are doing an awesome job with Black Chrysanthemum's practical effects. Like they showed like an up close of his hand, and you can see his like little his fingers and like the scar on his eye. I was like, he looked really awesome.
Yeah,
he looked really awesome.
Yeah, that part was great. That part was really great. And even like the lady tried to get him to stop, and he was just like, nah.
And then here, I'll pay you the money.
I can pay a bar tab anytime. I can only rip his arm off once.
I was really excited that he was like,
yep. And now Chrysanthemum is a part of the tribe, and I'm super pumped. We are now part of the tribe.
What if they name one of the last episodes War of the Bounty Hunters?
Oh my gosh.
Like the comic?
Oh bro, that would be incredible. That'd be what a great way to like tie stuff in. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Things will go crazy. Ash says, wait, hold on. I clicked on the wrong one. First of all, she said Zeeg. So Ash Zeeg.
Ziegler. She put it later like Ziegler.
Okay, Ziegler. Okay, yeah. So my bad. So Ash. I'm just gonna call you Ash though. So let's see here. She says, if you edit me out, sleep lightly, bounty hunter.
Oh, and you can, and she's also saying, you know, we can pronounce their name but not hers. Such a Star Wars fan.
Wait, what? Oh, you can pronounce Chrysanthemum's name but not mine. Such a Star Wars fan. That's fair.
Curry said he didn't think about that arc when he was watching it.
Oh, yeah. So Curry says, I also thought of that arc earlier while listening to y'all, but I didn't make the connection of why the Wookiee up and attacked the Trandoshans. Thanks for that. Mind blown. Yeah, that totally makes that scene so much better. Just a couple of reasons why Drew's on this podcast. Just a couple. He's just a couple. Just kidding. One of the many.
Just like a mushroom. I'm a fun guy.
Okay, well, that is one of the reasons why he's leaving now. I'm just kidding.
Bye.
Isn't Bosk dead?
Curry says, when is Bosk showing up?
He will look derpy when he appears because he looked.
He was dead. I thought he got killed in Rebels.
Did he get killed in Rebels?
Where am I getting that from?
I think you're making it up.
I don't think he got killed in Rebels. I don't think he's dead.
He's very derpy.
Derpy.
Like, even in Empire Strikes Back, if you look at his eyes, like he's a bit derpy looking.
I'll have to go back and look at it.
Drew's name is Thick Jarin.
Thick Jarin.
Thick Jarin.
Ash says they are lizards. They are lizards. Maybe they are part of the chameleon eyes.
Can go
wherever they want. Yeah, I mean,
I'm wrong. I know.
Jessica
I said I was
is
probably
wrong.
Listen, I've been in like a headache coma for 2 days.
But hey,
my neck is screwed up.
This podcast has become how to pronounce Ash's last name, and the answer is depends on a certain point of view. This is great. We're just going to keep reading Ash's comments, and this is what the podcast is today.
I'm going to make sure there's no more Twitter comments while we're at it. Make sure I've not missed any.
Don't yell at me. I'm sorry. Don't be sorry. I figured I was wrong. I'm fine embarrassing myself on these things. I don't know it all.
Ash
just
says
half the lizard he used to be. Okay.
Oh my gosh. Ash says he's not dead, just half the lizard he used to be. Man, you are just killing it. This is great.
We also have an answer to the Velcro conundrum. I mean the zipper conundrum.
Yes. I saw
go
that.
for it, please.
There's no zippers in space.
Everyone uses Velcro. Well, like in Mando season 2, whenever she like pulls her like stomach thing open and shows you the stuff. It's like Velcro. It's like,
Oh yeah,
not a zipper, which is not very tactical because Velcro is very loud.
sure. But
There's
then
also no underwear in space. So
George Lucas.
why he's wearing underwear? Disney's smart.
he's wearing underwear because he
It's
can't
better
be
that
naked
way.
on screen.
I know, I just said it's better that way.
That is why.
So
So
when it came to Carrie Fisher, she wasn't allowed to wear a bra because there was no underwear in space.
yeah, we all know there's some weird stuff there. That was yeah. Okay, let's start to wrap it up. We've been going an hour and 20 minutes. Don't want this to be super long, but anything. So we got to talk about the very ending, and unless you guys have any other thoughts before we get to the very end.
Sorry, I've got to turn the comments off.
Oh my gosh, Jessica.
It depends on when you want the Easter eggs.
I want the
Ash
Easter
said,
eggs.
wait,
before.
you wear a bra? Unfortunately, most of the time, I do. It wouldn't be.
Oh, Curry nailed it too. Luke wore underwear in Empire Strikes Back. On ESP in the back to maybe back to Hurts balls. That's a good point. Okay, man, there's lots of points being made in the chat today.
Do you see my face, Curry? Do you see my face? This is what I do to people when I was in the chat. I can't.
Okay.
Yes, I did. I broke them. You did, Curry.
So let's talk about the let's focus a little bit. Okay. So can we talk about these Easter eggs that Drew has been hiding from us?
Easter eggs.
I've covered a few of them just kind of as we went through the podcast, kind of like the music from the Mando season 2 ending credits for Boba, the Wookiee Trandoshan rivalry, the seismic charges. But number one, everybody knows that Dengar was alive in Rise of Skywalker, right?
I don't know if I did know that.
He was in the background of the scene on Kijimi. And he had a lot of cybernetic work done and like mods, and I wonder if maybe Boba referred him to this good mod shop on Tatooine for him to get his work done at. I'll send you a picture of it later. They confirmed it was Dengar. Like, he looks really weird, but he had a lot of work done.
Okay,
yeah, it was basically just his head.
He had a lot of work done.
A lot of work done. Number two, do you remember at the very first or after the flashback ended when they were asking about the mayor's major domo because they have him like tied up, they're torching him, whatever, and Fennec said, "Oh, he's singing like a yuzum."
Yeah.
Do you know what that is?
No.
A yuzum. That's the species of the honeycomb guy from Jedi Rocks.
Oh my gosh, I'm so glad that you told us that.
Oh yeah, so now I can just imagine the mayor's major domo singing the "Na na na unite."
Oh my gosh!
So that's what a yuzum. That's what a yuzum is the honeycomb guy. So you are welcome.
By the way, this episode did really make my Return of the Jedi loving heart extremely happy at multiple points because of all this. This really visited a lot of Return of the Jedi.
Yes.
Things, so more so even than the other episodes have. So like, as you know, I had a few issues here and there randomly, whatever, but like, I really did overall really enjoy this episode. I just thought I had to say that. And also Curry says yub nub, and to that I say no.
I say
yo no. Yo no. That's what I say. Yub nub is not as good as the Ewok celebration of the on the special edition, and it's just a fact now. I'm sorry that you're wrong, Curry. So
fact.
It's a fact. So let's see here. Drew, do you have any more of these Easter eggs?
That was it. Other than, oh no, the Rancor. That scene was incredible because
that was great.
Sound system cranked up watching that, and it like shook my living room because of the subwoofers. It was like boom. It was awesome.
That was great. Is the Rancor too sweet for you people today? I don't think so. I don't think so. I love it. I thought it was great timing. I did like that scene with the families, and all that. And then at the very end, we got to talk about it. Speaking of we talked about the music earlier. By the way, Ash says, I have some fun trivia. It's Return of the Jedi related. Bring it in the comments. I'll read it in a minute whenever you send it. So as Boba, they're talking about we're going to need, basically, I don't remember the exact quote, but we're going to need an army basically to go up against the Pike Syndicate. And Fennec says, I can't remember what she says, but it's something to the effect of, I know where to look or something. I can't remember exactly, but as she says that, it kind of pans behind them and Din Djarin, the Mandalorian theme starts playing behind them, kind of extremely not so subtly hinting that we're
subtle
about
as
to
a
see
chainsaw.
Yeah,
Subtle
exactly.
As a chainsaw.
We're about to see some Din. Some Din Djarin. I'm excited. I'm really genuinely really excited for this.
What if they call Cobb Vanth up?
I mean, they could at this point. I really think here's the thing. It's really important thing here. We haven't seen anything past this point in the trailer. Now we've seen everything from the trailers up to this point, because the last thing we needed to see was that scene at the table with the families talking. Everything, we haven't seen anything past now. So we're kind of like we did with the Mandalorian season 2 in the trailers. Y'all remember that? We saw everything we saw from the trailers for season 2 was like in the first 4 episodes. Once we got to that point, it was like boom, 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 craziness, right? Like for every week. And I have a feeling that's what we're about to get here. I'm genuinely I know you guys are probably just tired of me bringing up things that I don't like about this show, because I do have genuine gripes with like the production of the show and all that stuff. But I really am enjoying a lot of it, and I'm really hopeful for the last few episodes. Like I really am. Although I'm skeptical for the finale, because Robert Rodriguez is probably directing the finale, if I'm not mistaken, because he still
That's
has
what they're
one
saving
left.
all the money for. That's where they've been cutting corners at. They're saving it for that.
I really hope. First of all, I don't believe in that strategy. Second of
No.
all, I think Robert Rodriguez. I don't know. You should have been able. You should be able to direct fine on the budget you're on. So on the first 2 episodes you did, his episodes have been the weakest of the season by far for me. So, and I am a little bit iffy on him directing the finale, which I think that's what's going to happen. I could be wrong. I know he has one left, and I just assume that it's going to be him. But Filoni could direct the finale. As far as I know, we have 3 episodes left, and we know that Filoni is doing one. We know that Bryce Dallas Howard is doing one, and we know that we have one more from Robert Rodriguez. Oh my, no way. Here we go.
Curry.
Hey, Curry, I hear us in there, so I hear the delay. What are you doing? Oh no, it's frozen.
He's
Well,
frozen.
it was nice to see your face.
He's frozen in carbonite.
Yeah, you can come back whenever you get that set, Curry. Oh man. So let's see here. I want to go back up here.
We've got some comments.
Yeah, we've got some comments. Boba's getting the band back together, Ash says. Let's see here. Got some from trivia. Okay, here we go. The parade song in The Phantom Menace, the vocals. It's the Emperor's theme from Return of the Jedi, but happy.
Yes.
The parade's no way. You mean that? The
Whoop. Yeah, that one. I forgot what it's called.
Is it really?
It's a major key like twist on that song. It is.
Okay. I'm gonna have to go back and listen to that. Thanks for putting that on my radar, Ash. That's amazing. Let's see here. She says, subtle as Subtle as a ash seismic blast after Taco Bell.
The song is
gosh.
titled Augie's Great Municipal Band.
Yes, I know. I really do love that. That track.
Scott said, I'm hoping Space Bill Burr shows up. Same. I love
That would
Space Bill
be
Burr.
that'd be cool having him in there. That'd be fun because they did work together in that episode. Boba was in there too.
Yeah, and then Ash says episode 6 is Filoni.
Okay, I didn't know that they announced the ones that they were definitely doing, but I think that you're probably right. I'm so excited for his episode because he's also part writer on it, if I'm not mistaken. Scott says Robert Rodriguez has made some great action on
just shoestring budgets.
On just shoestring budgets. Maybe they have given him too much money. I do wonder if he's having a problem with the technology, that because I do notice in his episodes the technology looks worse. It's really weird. Curry was coming on to tell us all and the internet why Yub Nub is the best Star Wars track since the Imperial March, but whatever, y'all ain't ready for that. Yeah, honestly, the internet's not ready for that because it's literally not connecting you right.
You know what? Yub Nub's good at Galaxy's Edge. It's chicken and it's delicious.
Oh my gosh. Ash says episode 6 Ahsoka maybe ... I don't know. I can see this being a show that goes the entire length of the show without having Jedi type characters in it. So just because it's Filoni, I don't know that I think that she's going to be in this show, but I mean, who knows? I just don't see her having much of an, like, I know she interacts with the Pike Syndicate from time to time in the Clone Wars for sure, but I don't know that she would come into this show for that. But it could be for something else that we don't know about. We'll see. Curry says censorship.
The Force willed it into existence that it would mess up, and you can't say that.
Exactly. It's not censorship. It's just the Force. I can't do anything about it.
That's not how the Force works.
That's not how the Force works. I did it again, you guys. The stupid... I got to figure this out. This is driving me insane. Oh my gosh, the mouse.
Michael.
Curry with the red herring comment.
Y'all read the chat while I try to fix this.
Ash then said they spent the budget on the Rancor. Don't you know how much those cost? I can't imagine.
No, it was a gift, remember?
It was a gift.
It was and then Curry said that I am now his enemy. It's fine. I'm not afraid of you.
There we go. I got it.
Even though you're like
Lord.
2 times as tall as I am.
Curry says, I do wonder if the Mando music is a red herring. I don't know. I just feel like it's it is super obvious, but if they do that and not bring in Mando, I'd feel like that would be really weird. It feels like it would be really weird. I don't know. I would bet money that they are going to bring in Din Djarin.
I don't recall many red herring scenarios in Star Wars.
Really? Not any?
Well,
I feel like
not like that. Like teasing somebody's music and then they pardon me, don't show up like that. From that circumstance, I don't really remember that many. Unless I'm missing something super obvious, I'm gonna feel dumb, but it's been a long...
No, you could be right.
I feel dumb on the daily. It's fine.
Come on.
I do.
Hey, okay, so you guys, is there any like stray thoughts on the episode that you guys kind of wanted to talk about before we kind of start to wrap this up?
I have scratched off everything on my notes.
I said taller, Curry. Taller. You're twice as tall as me. Tall.
He's kidding.
Tall.
Y'all, do y'all have any stray thoughts?
No, I scratched everything off my notes. I think
Cool.
I'm pretty
Jess,
good. I
how about
think
you,
I got
Jess?
everything.
No, my stray thoughts have been very stray and already put out there in the open. So
Well, I just really did want to just kind of reiterate that as much as this show has frustrated me on a few levels, I did really enjoy this episode for the most part, especially the flashbacks, and I really did enjoy getting into Boba Fett, like talking about all of that, like, you know, the whole idea that, you know, you can only get so far without a tribe, and that this time in the desert with the Tuscans has made him stronger and not weaker. And I can't wait I really am excited to watch. I want to rewatch the Clone Wars episodes with him in it, and then rewatch these episodes of this this show, and then watch the Mandalorian episodes with him in it too. I want to watch all of this as like a story and see like how great it is together, all as one whenever it's done. You know what I mean? I'm really excited to watch it as one big story when it's all finished. So I'm gonna do that. But I also really liked that Fennec showed like at the end of the day, I think Fennec found something in Boba that she hasn't really found before. Definitely not in an employer, but more so like even something that she hasn't found in a person before, like a quality that he actually cares about her and what happens to her. And so because of that, I like the found family aspect. We have a little family here, you know. Fennec and Boba are, and it's not like a love thing. It's a found family aspect. Fennec has found belonging somewhere, probably for the first time. And I like that idea that this assassin is now like, even assassins need a family. That's the quote of the day. Even assassins need a family.
You know
No.
that there's people out there romanticizing a relationship between Boba and Fennec
Of course, there's plenty. There's got to
because
be plenty of it.
people can't just leave a story alone without that being log jammed into there.
Right, Raylo? I'm just kidding.
We're on camera. I can't do what I wanted to do.
You wanted to flip me off, didn't you?
No. Just the pinky finger.
Oh, God.
Not
Whatever.
the full bird.
Don't lie to me. Don't lie to me.
Just a little chickadee.
Hello.
Scott says they are bringing Pelly and her pit droids in. They already had a cameo. They might, but I think that was the cameo for them. I think they're done. Personally, I don't know. I could be wrong. Curry laughed a lot about something, and I have no idea what he laughed
saying call.
Oh, okay.
Call.
Ash says, when Boba said he had some old scores to settle, for a second my mind went to Han. That's actually a good point. I immediately did go to the that gang that he wanted to kill that killed the Tuscans, but he could have more that he wants to settle. Han could totally come into this show and it would make sense. It could work. I don't know. Curry says, great job, guys. A lot of fun. Love talking about this show with you all, flaws and all. It's still an enjoyable show. Still excited to see where it goes. I agree, Curry. I'm right with you there. We disagree on certain things, but I really do think that this show, I have hope for the last few episodes that it's going to be really good. I find a lot of enjoyment in especially the second and the fourth episodes have been very good to me. But I do have issues, and that's okay. It's not going to be my favorite Star Wars thing, that's for sure. But that's okay too.
You've got issues. We've got them too.
I've got them too. There isn't anything I wouldn't do for you. Ash says, Jessica, you are getting too comfortable.
I am in my house.
She says, like loyalty. I think she's referring to when I was talking about what Fennec found with Boba. Yeah, I agree. I think loyalty is definitely something.
Yeah.
Oh, Scott Tracy says, I was joking about Pelly. I was, okay, sorry, dude. I was like, I think they're done, dude. I think that's probably it, but he was just joking. Ash says, it's a love thing if you've seen some of the fan art I've stumbled upon. I don't doubt it. She says, Cobb Vanth, please. Yeah, I'm down for some Cobb. Curry says, what in tarnation was that sound? My ears just died. It was Drew's stuff again.
Yeah, Drew's chords suck.
It
Oh, I
has-
thought he was talking about your singing. I didn't know my cord made the noise
Singing?
again.
No
dude,
one was singing.
dude, I think it was that, but what if he was talking about my singing?
No, it was his cord. It exploded in
It
my
did. Your
ears,
cord made the
too.
sound. That would
Sorry,
be
I think
so funny.
I bumped it with my knee. I definitely have a short. I'm gonna order a short one, not a short one. a short
Curry
one.
says,
Hey.
Jessica, you are cracking me up tonight.
I'm half out of it, so you're welcome.
Ash says, this is the first series I've watched week by week. Mando, I watched once all the episodes were out. What's that experience been like for you?
I couldn't
Do you
do that.
do you prefer it? I for one have personally really enjoyed having one episode a week to talk about. I've really enjoyed that. Although with this show, not quite as much as Mando, because I think in general Mando was better for me. But I've really enjoyed the one episode a week on all of these and the Marvel shows too. It's been a blast
Yes.
for me to. It reminds me of how TV used to be when like Lost was on and all that stuff. We would theorize between and we would talk about the episodes. That's my
Can we
kind of
how TV used
Can
to
we
be.
even go an episode without Michael bringing up Lost?
We can't. It's impossible. I bring up Lost. Hey, I don't think I brought up The Last Jedi until just
I was
now.
about to beat you to
You
it just
did.
for fun.
It's like
You
the only time
just
I
did.
brought it up was me talking about not bringing it up. But you gotta. But yeah,
I
I do.
feel like I need to rewatch that show.
I do bring it. It's so hard. I'm noticing, like, I do recommend shows to people sometimes that are older, and it's like, well, now it's so hard to catch up on older shows because there's so much new stuff to catch up on too. And so people are having a harder and harder time catching up on older shows. But if you haven't seen Lost, you should absolutely watch Lost. Let's see. Ash says, it's better in the sense that I don't have to avoid spoilers for 2 months. That is very true. She goes on and says, but when you wait the entire run, it's easier to kind of forget about it instead of counting the days week by week for the next episode. I get that. Let's see here. Curry says, bad thick Mando.
What?
What? I don't know if I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Curry says, you can't. You would be lost. Yeah. Blah, blah, blah. I love Lost. You guys, seriously, I know a lot of people hate on the last couple of seasons and the finale especially, but I'm gonna be on an island here. No pun intended. Actually, that was totally intended. I'm gonna be on an island here and say the finale of Lost is pretty decent. It's pretty good. It's not as good as I want it to be, but it certainly is. It certainly is not like a lot of people just tell people now, don't even watch Lost. It's pointless because of the finale. I totally disagree with that. It's worth the journey, even if you don't like the finale. 100% it is. It's
People
an
are
amazing
whack.
journey. And that said, you guys need to watch it.
I've watched it. Oh, he died.
Oh no,
Sorry.
Drew, you turned into a circle with a little person in there. Okay, there we go.
I
There we
found
go.
my stop camera button on accident.
Ew.
Adjusting my
Whoopsie.
volume.
What shows now that we're kind of seeing Boba Fett, the show, we're seeing how the Book of Boba Fett is. What shows are you guys looking forward to the most after this one's over?
Obi-Wan.
I said earlier, I posted earlier, I was like, I have pretty much accepted that this is just not totally going to be my jam completely. That this show, the Book of Boba Fett, isn't. But when I thought about what show is totally going to be my jam, it was Obi-Wan. I just I have the expectation that it is going to be my jam, and I really hope that my expectations don't bite me in the butt there.
Yeah, Kenobi, I'm so ready for. Ahsoka, I can't even think about it because that's a show that I'm gonna have to act like just isn't happening until it happens.
Because you're just like overly excited about it, and
Yeah.
you're gonna, it's gonna, yeah, I get
I
it.
don't want to ruin it for myself.
Curry says, Kenobi. Drew, you're gone again. Let's see here.
I'm literally gonna have to peace out. My head hurt. My neck is.
Oh, I'm so sorry, Jessica.
Sorry.
That's okay. I'm so glad you got to stop in. This was so
I
fun.
need to ice it. That's what happens when you have neck injuries and get hit by a car.
You got hit by a car?
Yeah, 2 years ago, I got hit by a car.
I thought you meant today. I was like, why didn't you say that?
No, not today. I just
okay, that's
I'm
fine.
finally gonna do physical therapy. I just talked to my doctor today, so that should help.
Wow. Well, I'm glad you're doing that. I didn't know about that, and I didn't know. I thought you did that today, and I was like, why didn't you lead with that?
No, not today. Not today.
Thank you, Kylo Drew, for that helmet there. Wait, where'd you go? Okay, there you are. You're frozen. Ash says, but Mando season 1, those 30-minute episodes made me mad, and that was the original reason I was like, I'm just going to wait till they're all out. Okay, Ash, we're gonna disagree. Nope, we're gonna disagree completely. Oh my gosh, yes. A story should be how long a story needs to be told, and to me, some episodes need to be told that are 50 minutes. Some episodes that need to be told are 30 minutes. There shouldn't be a minimum like threshold. I feel like if an episode is less than 40 minutes, people freak out and they get mad. But it's like, no, a couple of my favorite episodes are like 31, 32, even like 29 minutes of The Mandalorian. And they told a clear, concise, great story in those episodes. I never finish a Mandalorian episode and think, man, that was too short, except if you count, I just want more. And that's a good thing. You want to end a show episode wanting more. So, but aside from that, I never feel like that was incomplete. I just don't agree with that line of thought. And I remember when the first season of The Mandalorian was on, people were like always getting upset about that. And I was always on the podcast with Ben just being like, stop. It doesn't matter. It's as long as they're telling a clear, concise, good story, it doesn't matter how long it is. And so while I want more Mando always, I want more for the next week.
Ash said, just wait when Kenobi comes out if you think the Phantom Menace is mad now.
The Fandom Menace.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. Again.
If you think the Fandom Menace is mad now.
I knew in my mind that's what I said, but that's not what
I know.
My mouth said.
What do you think the Fandom Menace is going to be mad at in the Obi-Wan show?
Oh, and then she said,
everything.
Did she get hit by a car or a speeding fire slave 69? I got hit by a soccer mom in white minivan.
That's a little less cool. Ash says, I just wanted more. Ash, I get that. I do get it. I really, really do. Because I did too. But it doesn't bother me when the shows are short. Like it doesn't, unless it feels like an incomplete story. But none of the Mando episodes did, for the most part. Not that I remember anyway. Same with like the Bad Batch. Although those are, the animated shows I feel like are more like naturally quicker, shorter episodes. But honestly, I'm more excited for the Bad Batch than I am for a lot of things. The Bad Batch season 1 caught me by surprise, and I'm like, I love it. I love it.
Andor?
I'm for a spy thriller. Excited for Andor. There's so much they can do with that.
There's another one for me that I'm like, cool. More Star Wars.
But it'll have Hera possibly.
There's so much you can. That's the most natural place to bring Hera in to me.
Totally.
All right, you guys. I'm gonna rush through these really quick. These last few things, and we're gonna go because I've been on here for too long. Honestly, I gotta go. I got a wife and a baby I need to tend to.
My wife and a baby.
A baby.
I'm gonna go ahead and say peace out. It was very fun.
Bye, Jessica.
I'm
Thanks for
glad I
coming
got
on.
to come
Glad you
in
made
for
it.
a minute. I'm gonna go ice my oldness and
Ice my oldness.
hopefully be functioning tomorrow.
Oh my gosh. Well, thanks for coming on, Jess. I'm glad you got to come.
Of course.
I'll talk to you later. Bye.
Bye.
Okay, just so finish up the show here. That was weird. I totally had a deja vu moment just then. That was super weird. Let's see here. Ash said, "Sorry, Jessica. Max Rebo spoke over you there. Continue. I'm sorry if I did. I do that sometimes." Curry says, "Honestly, sometimes Mando accomplished more in 30 minutes than Boba did in 40." I actually totally agree with that, Curry. 100% agree with that. As far as pacing goes, I feel like the pacing on The Mandalorian was usually better than the show. Ash says, "Max Rebo, I'm giving you the same look Black K gave Boba in episode 2 because I disagree with you. Sorry." Ash says, "What will they be upset on Kenobi? I don't know, but I'm going to take a wild guess. This isn't my Kenobi." Will be thrown around. Yeah, you're right, and they're gonna get mad at everything. They just get mad at everything. So irritating. No, it's not your Star Wars, by the way. It's not your Star Wars. It's Star Wars. It's our Star Wars, all of ours, and the people making it. It's their Star Wars too. They love it. They have ideas for it. They're creating the ideas. So, yeah.
You know, a good example of a show that had a one size fits, and shows that are on TV are this way, and because of that, you have these issues.
Sure.
Because you have a 30-minute TV slot that's going to be 20 to 22 minutes of a show, 8 minutes of commercials. You have to meet that mark each week.
100%,
and sometimes stories are rushed. Game of Thrones was this way sometimes, where you have an hour slot on HBO, but there's like no commercials. And so they were all kind of around that mark. And sometimes there was too much, and then sometimes there was too little, and they stretched things out. So I'm glad that these shows that are streaming online, Disney Plus, these things that don't have commercials, it can be adjusted however long the story needs to be, and I love that.
I agree. I totally agree. It's just the thing that you tell the story that you need to tell. You use the time that you need to tell it, and don't use too much. Don't use too little. It's great. I love it, but I do totally understand. I just want more. Like now, I totally get that too. But I like that it's drawn out over a couple of months instead of like Stranger Things. You're done in 2 days. You know, it's a different thing, and I prefer to have that experience, the 2-month, 3-month experience.
Same.
Plus, Andor is 12 episodes.
Ooh.
Yeah, which I'm really pumped about. I'm super pumped. Curry says, rolling on the floor laughing, "My oldness." Jessica, when she said that, I'm gonna go ice my oldness. I'm gonna have to find a way to use that going forward. Ash says, "Watch out for those fire slaves 69." Those fire slaves 69, Jessica. Curry says, "Pacing?" Yeah, he's right. I make fun of him for talking about pacing all the time. And I talked about it just then. Ash says, "Zippers, bright colors." Ah, it really is ridiculous the things these people complain about. Like literally, I saw someone posted a picture of, that shot where they were just walking into a building, and you see Boba and Fennec walking, but then the speeder gang behind them, or the Vespa gang behind them, or whatever. The mod gang is really what they are, behind them. It's just that shot with those colorful bikes in it or whatever. I saw people posting that and it's like, this isn't Star Wars. I'm like, what does that even mean? That's not even criticism.
Can we give an official response? Your mom isn't Star Wars. To whoever said that, your mom isn't Star Wars.
That is our official response to that. Ash says, "Now, excuse me, I have some clouds to go yell at." She says, it's more I like getting settled in to watch stuff. I don't like, 30 minutes later, time to go find something else to watch. I get that too. Binging is fun. I'm not denying binging's not fun, but it's ultimately a lesser experience for me in the long run. But yeah, I totally get it though. And then she also says, I'm the same way with podcasts, to be honest. If the podcast is under 45 minutes, I usually don't listen. Oh,
Well,
wow.
boy, do we have a podcast for
We
you.
got a podcast for you, Ash. Most of ours go over an hour, and sometimes way over an hour. So yeah, there you go. And then Ash says to end the episode, now this is pacing. I gotta say, this was a really fun chat tonight. We got
Yes.
a bunch of good people in there. I really had a lot of fun with Curry in there and Ash and Scott. And at the beginning, we had I think he might have left or he just stopped talking, but Jackson was in there.
Yeah.
Lots of fun talking with you guys tonight. Thanks so much. That now this is pacing really got me. That's really good. But so much fun. We're going to do more live streams going forward, just trying to figure out how much, if we want to do them every week or if we want to do them every now and then. But thank y'all for joining us in there. It was a lot of fun. And if you don't know, and you're in the chat, we do have a podcast. We release it once a week in wherever you listen to podcasts. And we are also, let me pull this up. We are actually on Twitter as well at certain _ POV pod, on Instagram at certain point of view pod. And we have a Facebook group called A Certain Point of View Discussion Group. We'd love for you to join if you haven't already. And please go subscribe to the podcast so that you can, be made aware of our episodes dropping every week. So, Drew, any last thoughts before we sign out?
No.
Good.
I don't know why that was so dramatic. I'm sorry.
I liked it. I like drama. Just kidding.
Other than derpy Trandoshans, I'll send you a picture of one. Don't worry.
Okay. Ash says, this is me keeping it family friendly. Imagine if I really let loose. Yeah, I can imagine. And Curry says, yub to the nub. I am not ending the podcast on that. I'm ending it on Scott Tracy saying, I had a blast. We had a blast with you in here, Scott. Thank you so much for coming in. Scott, Ash, Curry, anyone else who was in here also, thank y'all so much for joining us. And until next time, may the force be with you always.